Are we live?
Yes.
We're live. Welcome to the Finished Business Podcast. Today is May 23rd, 2018, and I'm your host. My Twitter handle is NKMCQUAIN. My co-hosts today are Brad
Hello. My
and,
Twitter handle is @redscroll_7.
and Lance the Vegan.
Lance the Vegan.
That's me.
And that's your Twitter handle,
That's
too,
my
right?
Twitter handle? Wow. Look at me go.
He
Is there any
he
unders-
doesn't even run his own Twitter account.
I am non-technical.
But we want to be technical with our Twitter handles, though. Is there any spaces or underscores in your Twitter handle, Lance the Vegan?
I don't think so. It's all one word.
Okay, and have we tweeted?
All one vegan word. Oh, no. I will tweet here pretty quick.
Okay, you just give me the wink.
Okay. I'll tweet.
That is a big glass of Arizona tea.
It is. This is my... I don't know if it's like a pint and a half or 2 pints, but
They come in pints?
yeah.
That's got to be a pint and a half.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll bet you $1.
Okay. Why don't you do the news while I tweet?
Oh, current events. So, last week we talked about Seattle's head tax. It's
Oh,
pretty,
yeah.
pretty interesting.
Yep.
They're going to charge companies that make over $2 million, $20 million, $275 a head.
That's nuts.
So, Pierce County, which is south of Seattle in
Right.
Tacoma, is offering a $275 per head tax
Credit?
job creation credit.
Oh,
Yeah. So take that,
Got him.
Seattle. Yeah, got him.
So what's that going to do for the homeless population in Seattle? That's a current big thing that's
Which
like
part?
happening,
Pierce
right?
County or
Well, no, like are homeless people in Seattle going to move to Pierce County so that they can get
No.
their new jobs that everybody's going to be opening up?
Oh, maybe. I never thought about it like that.
Well, that's how you should think about it. Always think about the positive aspects here. We need to
So it's like-
eliminate the homeless population. So
Yeah,
I
so
don't.
you
so
should
I,
be-
So I don't get to shoot them all.
Yeah, so if you want to eliminate the homeless population, you should be for the head tax.
Eliminating the homeless population for the head tax? No,
Why?
because
Of
the
money?
the tax credit will create more jobs, and homeless people will therefore
That's
be able
what
to
you-
get
yeah,
more
because
jobs.
people
right?
are going to make more money. But
Exactly.
then big companies are going to lose money with the head tax, which is
That's
stupid.
not the point.
My point.
The point is to
is always
add
money.
jobs. Add jobs.
So
That's good. Yeah.
octopuses are hackers and money is evil,
Money
so-
is not necessarily evil.
Yes.
Money is
according to me.
Okay. Well, according to me, money is necessary in some aspects of life.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but we're not talking about money today, but that'd be a good time.
No, I have more current events. Can I?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you
please
want to
continue.
buy a
Go-
fishing
go
pole,
for
it requires money.
Yes, you're right. Unless, well,
Money
some
can't buy you happiness.
form
but
of
it can buy you a
currency.
fishing pole.
Which creates happiness.
All right.
Okay, so there's these electric scooters in big cities, and they're called birds.
I've never heard of these before. What?
They're electric scooters, and the idea is that you use the scooter during the day, and then you leave it somewhere, and you use an app. It has an app, so this app will tell you where it is in the morning, and then you also push on the app where it is at night. So you drop it off at the end of the day,
Okay.
and someone will come and get this scooter and recharge it at night. And then they will put it somewhere else, or maybe in the same spot, and then put on the app where it's at, and you'll come get it at that spot in the morning.
So you own the scooter, and then there's a service automatically that charges it for you?
Nope.
Or it's owned by the city?
So you pay for the scooter. It's $1 for unlocking, and then 15 cents a minute
Oh,
to use this scooter in a big city. And then at nighttime, someone comes and picks it up and charges it.
Oh, so it's like a company that owns all the scooters, and you're essentially renting them.
Yep.
Oh,
And you can just pick up any scooter you want. It's like, I get on my app and it's like, where's the nearest scooter?
Yep.
It's right here. You go walk there. You can go get on your scooter. You can go to the bar
And then
get
drop it off
completely
wherever you want.
Smashed, and then you can't drive anymore. So you just leave your scooter at the bar.
Yep.
Walk home, Uber home, whatever. And then, sometime in the middle of the night, some dude like comes along, picks up the scooter, charges it, and drops
Yes.
it off somewhere.
Is
So
this
these-
like is this like a
Genius.
Razor scooter or like a moped
Yeah,
scooter?
a Razor scooter.
Oh,
So like
you don't-
non-motorized.
So you can be
You're
drunk
paying
and ride it.
15 cents a minute for a non-motorized scooter.
No, it's motorized. He said they had to charge it.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's electric.
That's true. All right.
It-
You're right.
that's-
You're right.
No noise pollution.
All right.
So the cool thing, the part about this that caught my attention
Except
is
for your enjoyment.
the
You're like, woohoo! Sorry. Okay, go for it.
The part that caught my attention to this is that the people that come and pick these up in the middle of the night, they're called bird hunters.
Okay.
So some
They
of these
carry
people,
shotguns.
some of these people make up to $600 a night, depending on how many scooters they pick up. And you can be a high school kid, or you can be like a college student. You can be any sort of person you want and pick these scooters up and charge them in your house. There's like apartment complexes.
Do you even have to be as well qualified as an Uber driver?
No, I don't know actually.
Because like you got to be like pretty well. You got to go through a bunch of rigmarole to be an Uber driver.
Yeah, so this is what's described as the Uber of scooters.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
All
Sounds
right.
amazing.
No, but actually,
They don't have that in our area.
Yeah, it sounds like a cool idea.
super cool idea, especially for like a young person trying to be entrepreneurial, because it's like a business. They're contracted through the company to pick these scooters up every night and charge them, which costs, the
You got
amount
to
of-
pay this dude something. So
Well, he gets paid by the company, and
Right.
like I said, you can make up to $600 a night depending on how many scooters you collect.
you probably have to be a pretty busy buddy to make $600 in one night.
Yeah, and you just charge them on your wall in your garage or in your apartment
Oh, so
complex.
they got to like take these and charge them with their own power.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Makes sense. Fine.
So I wonder if they reimburse you for the electricity, or
Nope.
if
You just get paid.
your paycheck is supposed to cover the electricity you use.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you get paid like maybe
But
a
if you're
certain amount per scooter.
if
So
you're
like one,
busting down $600 a night, that means you're probably charging up like a solid like 50 some odd scooters, which is going to take some power.
Yeah, but not $600 worth of power.
No, definitely not.
no, probably like $20 worth of power maybe.
Maybe.
So you could, I mean, honestly,
But what if
can
you
make
had
bank.
what if you had a Tesla Powerwall, and so you were off the grid
Are you really
that
off
point-
the grid though?
at
Yeah.
that point using your own power?
You,
Shout
so
out to Muskie.
Yeah, old Muskie.
Old Muskie.
Yeah. You know, Elon Musk, he's those Powerwalls. That was pretty good. Was that his idea, or was it was
His
Tesla.
company, Tesla.
Yeah, his company did that. Yeah.
So that's all my current events for the
So
day.
speaking of old Muskie, we got the brakes, man.
Oh, okay.
It's the current event of the century, right? So like Consumer Reports comes out with a report saying the braking distance on the Model S, the cheap one, is way too long. It's like 10 feet further than a Ford F-150. So
Correct.
now old Muskie is like
Getting very defensive.
he got a bit defensive, but they've come up with a software update that's like literally fixed the braking distance.
Whoa, a
A
software update?
software update for your car that helps the braking distance. How is that even possible?
Oh, I feel like it's a computer, and just like you can adjust your video cards, latency. Should be able to adjust your stopping distance.
Okay, all right, whatever you say.
That's not how it works,
Nick
is it?
McQueen.
It's not how it works. Maybe the octopuses are changing the latency on their video cards to get to the moon.
Oh man.
Anyway, but okay, that's a good segue into our topic, talking about
Nobody knows what our topic is yet.
no,
Not yet.
Well,
It's a
except
surprise.
unless you
It's-
read the title.
yeah, it's in the title.
Aw.
Media fallacies
Did you-
and what?
You sent a tweet
Yes. Oh yeah, I tweeted on FinBiz podcast
at
at FinBiz podcast.
for all the people
Can't
who
say
are
it.
just listening.
Yeah. So we're talking about media fallacies and how sometimes media outlets will take a story and twist it to where, like, they'll take something that maybe is a good thing and they'll twist it to turn it into something that's bad, or maybe sometimes they'll outright lie.
Just to get more ratings?
Well, it's something that, according to your agenda or like the
Right.
purpose of your company or whatever you support.
Yeah, and this was sent to me by a friend, and it's Elon Musk, and he tweeted, he said, going to create a site where the public can rate the core truth of any article and track the credibility score over time of each journalist, editor, and publication. Thinking of calling it Pravda.
So it's like a Yelp for journalists.
Yeah, journalists and
But like
media outlets.
maybe even a Yelp for individual news articles.
Right, and then he's got a poll on here.
Wait, who made this?
Elon Musk.
Old Muskie.
Old Muskie.
This is really interesting. This is the first I've heard about this.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, it's here on
So he
Twitter.
tweeted it.
Yeah, and he has a poll, saying, "Hey, is this a good idea?" Basically, and a lot of people said yes. So,
I think that's a grand idea.
Wow.
but do you think that's Elon Musk saying like, fake news, or
So what's happening in the news to make Elon Musk try and make a company that fact checks journalists and news articles? What's going on?
Let's see. That was in the other part. In the other part of the tweet, he tweeted something. He said, "The holier than thou hypocrisy of big media companies who lay claim to the truth but publish only enough to sugarcoat the lie is why the public no longer respects them." And there was a he quote retweeted a tweet by Electrico ELEC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a car, like an online car blog.
Yeah.
Electric.co.
Yeah, and their tweet says something. Let's see what it says. Tesla could rally as media negativity is increasingly immaterial, says Baird at Electrico.
So I think the media has been immaterial for like a very long time.
Would you say immaterial?
Immaterial.
IMM.
What does that mean?
It means nothing.
So that's what it means.
Literally
nothing.
means nothing. Yeah.
So like the definition is nothing.
Yeah.
Like you
I'll
are
look up the
so
definition.
immaterial to me.
Yeah.
Our
You are nothing
relationship
to me. Yeah.
is immaterial.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will look up the definition so we have.
So we called it garbage. We
Yeah.
called it like a piece of dog poop.
Yep. It means nothing to him.
And so now,
Except dog poop probably means more to him than that.
So
because
now
dog
he's-
poop like makes him like have to clean off his shoe.
Yeah, it says unimportant under the circumstances or irrelevant.
irrelevant. Wow,
Irrelevant,
that's
yep.
strong words.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean,
So it's motivated him to make a new company now
yeah. Well, yeah, a website.
that
So
fact checks like Snopes, but better.
yeah, good old Muskie, Elon Musk over here.
Yep.
He's at it
He wants-
again.
saving the world. Yep.
Elon Musk saves the world.
Yeah.
That could be a new Netflix series.
Make T-shirts.
It'd
Musk
be better than
hats.
the other one.
Muskie for president.
Yeah, Elon Musk for president.
2020.
No, we'll
2028.
just make it 2019.
Wait, so are you saying that Trump will be impeached?
No. I don't
Oh,
think so.
okay.
Wait,
It's
but
not gonna
still, even if he was impeached, it's not like you can elect a new president, right? The
No,
vice
it would
president
go to
would.
Pence, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think? Are there any media outlets that you think are particularly, erroneous? I would say The Onion.
On
Yeah.
purpose, though.
Yeah. The Onion is a satirical news site for people who don't know.
Look it up.
It's hilarious.
quite
There's
hilarious,
another
yeah.
one too, right?
Uh,
Just like the Onion.
probably The Onion's the only one I know of.
There's a subreddit on Reddit called Not the Onion, and it's news that looks like it could be fake, but it's
Should
real.
be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up
Worth a
later.
look. Yeah.
You're the Reddit expert here.
I
I
guess.
think.
I don't know. Yeah.
Are you a Redditor?
I do not have a Reddit account.
You don't?
But
I'm
you
a-
frequent the
I'm
site.
a lurker.
How are you supposed to get any gold?
I don't want gold.
There's like Reddit premium accounts that
There
you
are,
pay
yeah.
for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't understand though.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay.
Well, there's Patreon accounts too.
Yeah, and we have a Patreon account, www.patreon.com/finishedbusinesspodcast.
For those who are listening, we're also
we have one Patreon subscriber, and he gets access to all of our extra content, and he's the only one. So right now he's in a super exclusive club.
it's also going to be in the description if you're
Yeah.
watching on YouTube.
It is on the description.
Positively amazing.
Yeah. So so can we talk about fake news then?
Fake
Okay.
news.
Fake
yeah,
news?
so fake
Wrong.
Wrong.
news. So I think what's happening right now, in my opinion of fake news,
Uh-huh.
is that when someone who is prominent in the media, this is ridiculous, but when someone who's prominent in the media gets some hate mail or an article that he disagrees with, it's like back in the day when you used to call someone stupid or you try to discredit somebody because you didn't like them talking crap about you. And I think that's what's happening right now. But still, at the same time, I respect the fact that certain companies are owned by certain people, by a small amount of people, and they have agendas where they want to like support Hillary Clinton or support Trump or the opposite.
Yeah.
So they sway their news to
Boy, the neighbors are being really loud.
Deary
I
me.
wonder if we can hear it on the podcast.
I don't know.
Think we should shut the door?
No, I don't think it's going to make a difference with that.
That's a lot of noise. If you don't hear it, there's the neighbors are making a lot of noise.
Yeah, revving a motorcycle and stuff. Yeah, so do you think that Elon Musk's plan to run this website, do you think that it's going to work? Because there are going to be people who vote on there, and they're going to say, you know, like, whatever, CNN is fake news or Fox is fake news because I disagree with
they're
them.
biased.
I think nothing's going to change.
You
I don't
think
think
so?
anything is going to change because
what
right
if we get our news instead of getting our news from the regular sources of news? Like, how do people get news nowadays? Like, I get my news just based off of the internet, but how do other people get
the newspaper or on cable television?
So I don't get the newspaper, and I don't have cable television. And I think the population of people out there that are like me is increasing.
Increasing,
yeah.
but there still is a large demographic of people that
Yeah.
watch the news every night or every morning or listen to it every morning.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, there is
Or
news
go
on
to
the radio.
websites.
There's radio shows in the morning on most stations that have some news.
Mm-hmm.
NPR.
Yeah, NPR. But even like normal, like Bob and Tom and stuff, they do
They do
short little news bits.
Yeah, which
sure.
they're offering their opinion at the end.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so
Yeah.
so do you think this app is going to change anything? I say no, because basically what we have now is people voting anyways.
I say that people are going to take something like that and use that as their news source.
But yeah, so what if you have a bunch of people that you can easily sway the votes in this app? You could easily
Sure, yeah.
sway it.
You can get a whole bunch of hacked Chinese
Yeah. So
Well, but
or Russian hackers with hacked accounts and
well, and he said in his
vote the results however they want, right?
yeah, he said in his tweet that it would try to, you know, it'd
We're
be
going to
botnet.
eliminate the Russian hackers.
No, it'd be like botnet proof or something. I don't know exactly what he said, but
So how much fake news is this Russian hacker thing where Russian hackers are now responsible for everything that's gone bad in the last five years now?
well, we talked about that a little bit in the computer hacking one, and
Right.
it's probably not Russian hackers, but
so are you saying you're not saying Russian hackers are making the news? That's not what you're saying. You're saying
Russian hackers are making the news.
they're
but
making
should they
the Wall Street Journal articles. Is that what you're saying? They're writing articles for the Time.
Well, I mean, Russian hackers are responsible for getting Trump elected. Russian hackers are responsible for X, 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 and
well,
X.
everybody thinks that.
Right.
Okay. So here's the problem I
But-
see with
There's no proof
oh
that that's the case.
yeah, and here's the problem I see with Elon Musk's plan. You know, old Muskie, his plan to create this website. I think there's going to be people with biases that will vote based on their biases
Without even reading the article.
Right.
Right.
Reading the headline.
So there's going to be like, and here let's
So
say
do you have to get like trusted user accounts that are like registered
Verification.
voters, like verified voters or whatever?
Whoa.
Sure, but-
Registered voters? You have to be a registered voter to use this app?
sure. I'm not necessarily opposed to that.
I
But
don't see
here's-
anything wrong with registering voters.
even with registered voters, I think that you're going to get people. Let's say that there's a general bias towards Fox News, and so Fox News publishes something that is legit, and they get pushed out as this is not credible and stuff because it's just from Fox News, or it could be any other news outlet.
Right.
I think people have slipped up in the past in crucial situations, like when the election was happening. I'm pretty sure a couple of the companies published some fake news or biased news. I think they should have to be responsible for that. So a lot of people are saying,
How do you make someone responsible
how do
for
you
that, though?
they lose money. They lose followers. They lose subscribers. They
But
lose
that's
money.
It's not happening. How many people like actually go and like unfollow something if they
Well, there are some people. If
There are
if
some
they,
people that do that,
if
but-
they piss you off enough, or if you start realizing, wait a sec, these people don't know what they're talking about.
But does that make a difference?
But Lance, do you have a Facebook?
No.
Interesting. You don't have a Facebook.
He doesn't, but
nor
he does have
Twitter.
a Twitter.
I've never
Lance,
been on
at
it.
Lance the Vegan.
So where do you get your news from, Lance?
I get my news from various online sources.
Give me some examples, Lance.
Reddit.com.
Reddit. Okay. So tell us what Reddit is.
Well, first, do you think Elon Musk has a Reddit account?
Yes.
I would imagine.
Has
so.
he done an
I'm,
AMA?
I'm pretty sure he's done an AMA.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
tell us about Reddit.
Reddit. So Reddit is
Short version.
exactly what you guys are mentioning with this fake news website that's supposed to like have users say yes or no.
Upvotes and downvotes.
It's kind of like Facebook, except Facebook you can't downvote things. In Reddit, you can upvote and downvote things.
So what he's saying is the very front page of Reddit is the most popular, most upvoted article within the last 12 hours or 24 hours.
Right, but that doesn't mean that Russian hackers didn't put those things on the front page. Reddit's a very respected news source from both sides of the spectrum. So there's like a decent chunk of positive left news and a decent chunk of positive right news.
So they're unbiased, but
also I mean Reddit in general is left wing biased and in general.
In your opinion, but hold on here a second.
But that doesn't mean that you can't go to certain subreddits that have more people that.
I want to interrupt.
Right. Go for it. It's all you.
Okay,
Mr.
so
Host.
What's important about Reddit, almost more so than how it delivers its news, is the people that comment.
Yes.
Is the user comments. And that's also as important as the post itself. And so Reddit is really valuable because you can have an article and then you can have people's opinions. And you can also vote and downvote, upvote these opinions.
Particular comments, yes.
Particular comments, but at the end of the day, after a couple of hours go by, the good comments, the bad comments, the most controversial comments all come up to the top.
Yep.
They come out like cream or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what's valuable about Reddit is not just that it's
So
voted
the main
upon.
thing that I like about Reddit is you can bring up a news article of some kind that's on Reddit, and there's going to be somebody down in the comments, usually in the top 5 to 10 comments, that knows a very
that's an expert
intimate amount of information about the particular subject.
that schools everybody and gets a gold.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's valuable about Reddit. It's a bunch of people use it, and a bunch of people are actual experts. So if I have a question about a specific car, there might be the guy who built it, who helped build it, comment, and then I trust him because he was the fucking mechanic on the original car.
That's right.
So if you had questions about Tesla or SpaceX,
You go to Reddit first.
and then you think Elon Musk would be the expert on it. Well, I mean, he's probably not the expert. He just owns the companies, but
Old Muskie's a smart dude. That's all I know.
Yeah, definitely. So okay, but you're saying that Reddit essentially already does this thing,
Right.
So you think
Popularity contest.
right? Yeah. Well, and like Lance said, there's experts on there, so it's hard to have a false positive.
Right. And
Yeah.
now that doesn't mean that like every once in a while some expert comes along that's not an expert and offers an opinion that's bogus. And because of the
Or that acts like an expert.
Right, that acts like an expert, and because of the nature of the article or whatever the question was or any sort of post, there's nobody that can really catch it until another actual proper expert comes along and refutes what he says. And usually those types of posts are extremely controversial, and those make it to the top of the heap very, very quickly. So it's really cool how that works. Like actual experts do come along and refute what fake experts have put on there.
So do you think that, Reddit is already what Elon Musk wants to create, and so he should just forget it because Reddit already exists?
Well, it sounds like Elon Musk wants to do some sort of verification process on the app so that you're not a Russian spy bot or something like that.
I see. So you can't have fake accounts and such. Why can't Elon Musk just buy Reddit and change that?
Is Reddit for sale?
Yes.
Every business is for
Well,
sale.
every day. They oh no, that's Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well, I think Wikipedia, they just ask for donations, right?
They make their money based on ad revenue. And the Reddit Gold system.
As of March 2018, it was measured 1.69 billion users on Reddit.
That's a lot of users.
Wow.
Wait, let me say that
Yeah,
again.
that doesn't mean that there's
One-
not a lot of business users or whatever like that.
1.69 billion users on Reddit at one time had accessed the site in the most recent period.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
That's
That
a lot
is
of
a
people.
lot of people.
That's
That's a seventh of the world's population.
that's a lot of people. That's like, not everybody in the world even has access to the internet. And
So,
that's
so
a lot
do
of
you
people.
think that if Elon Musk owned this company that's supposed to bring neutral news, do you think it would be neutral, or do you think that it would? Do you think they would talk shit about Tesla? That'd be like talking shit about your boss, essentially.
Well, I don't know. That's hard to say. I don't really know Elon Musk, and so I don't know. There's been censorship on platforms like Twitter has been. It's like been confirmed. Twitter and YouTube have been censoring conservative ideas because they don't agree with them, and they have the right to do
YouTube
that.
is owned by Google, by the way, or
Yes.
the Alphabet company.
Right. uh,
Also known as Google.
right. And it's and Facebook has done that too. They censor views that they don't agree with, or that they find offensive,
Yeah.
and they have the right to do that as companies. But
Okay.
but I think this website would have to try and stay completely neutral. They couldn't censor anything. You know what I mean? If they wanted to truly.
Or appear to sound neutral.
Well, they would. I mean, they could. The people that own the company could have a political stance, and they probably do. But what I'm
Okay.
saying is, the platform itself would have to stay neutral in order
Appear
for it.
to stay neutral.
No, I think it would have to actually stay neutral in order for it to be a. In order for it to be legit.
Okay. I want to make a metaphor, I suppose. So, in the real world, I want to go out to get a drink at a bar. Okay, so in my town, I have 5 bars, all right? So I have a bar that's full of cowboys and rich businessmen. And then I have another bar that's full of blue collar people. And then I have a bar full of maybe an ethnicity, so there's 3 other bars left in the town, and each one is devoted to a certain ethnicity. All right. So with that in mind, I want to go out to a bar. I choose one according to like the type of stuff I'm gonna hear. Right. I'm not gonna go to the cowboy bar if I don't want to hear about certain things they want to talk about. And you can apply that to like the left or the right, conservative or liberal.
Well, and beyond that too. But yeah.
So just to relate it to, like, you have been having a choice all your life to get the news you want, to hang out with the people you want, to hear the things you want. So yeah, I'm kind of insulted if they're calling it fake news, because that means I have no choice. I do have a choice. I have a choice to get news from a newspaper, a blog, or whatever. It's my choice to credit it or to believe in it or not, or to do research. So for them just to be like, it's fake news, like, isn't that up to us to realize? Shouldn't we be smart enough to
Well,
like filter it out? And I think what they're saying is we're not. A majority of people are fed things and they just believe them right off the bat.
I would say that some people definitely do. They will say, "Oh, I believe everything that Fox News
A
says."
cognitive bias, maybe
Yeah.
if they love Trump, then they're gonna hate everything that Trump hates just because
Right.
it's a bias that they have.
Totally. Totally. And I think, and it's there are exceptions, but I would say everybody who is hardcore liberal and everybody who is hardcore conservative have some sort of cognitive bias, and that they because and it's usually when you have like super hardcore right and super hardcore left, and I'm
In
talking
the
about
same
like
spot,
super extreme. They hate each other.
Yeah.
There's
they
no
beef.
yeah.
So like
totally.
if we had like on Reddit, they would fight each other, and they do fight each other,
They
right?
do,
There's
yeah.
fights,
yeah, well,
but there's moderators.
yeah, but I'm saying
Does
like
that really make a difference, though?
there are
Moderators?
people,
Do moderators make a difference?
But like you can just use back in time Reddit or whatever, and you can see all the comments that are deleted. I mean,
No,
Yeah.
some of them say content hidden. Some of them you can't see.
but if you can go to certain subreddits that specialize in bringing back those hidden comments.
Lance the Vegan, are you hacking Reddit right
No,
now?
I'm not hacking Reddit. There's literally subreddits.
It
that are
sounds like
devoted to
hacking. It sounds like you're hacking Reddit.
Lance the vegan hacking Reddit.
this. Well, I don't have any pet octopuses, so
Yeah, how could he hack?
how could I hack Reddit?
I mean, maybe he could hack Elon Musk's account with an octopus. I don't know if you could even hack Reddit with an octopus.
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe,
should- maybe
I need to
Elon
figure out how to
Musk's-
hack Old Muskie's Reddit account or Old Muskie's Twitter account with an octopus.
You guys are being ridiculous right now. You're making fun of me right now for
Why?
my love of octopus. I'm not gonna stand for this.
No, the octopus is
So
not
I'm
crazy.
I'm finally doing the tweet. I had to find it. I'm doing the tweet right now. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the deal? Yeah.
So, but I think what you're trying to say is that, are you saying that Old Muskie's idea, if he releases this company and starts this website, that it will be biased? It'll say, hey, this is fake news. Don't go to these people. Or what are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
I'm trying to say it's still owned by a person that has interest. And so, is there any way to truly get unbiased news?
I think that you can't. I think the only way to get unbiased news is a news outlet that presents the facts. But even then, you can twist facts to fit your agenda.
Just wordings.
Yeah, just wordings, or taking statistics and skewing them a certain way. So there's like a huge thing with the mass shooting statistics, where depending on what kind of agenda they want to push, the FBI defines a mass shooting as 4 or more people dead. I think.
Casualties.
Yeah,
4 or more casualties.
yeah. But some places, trying to make things seem a certain way, will say, "Oh, it's 6+."
Or terror alert.
Yeah, or they'll talk about, well, there hasn't been that many Islamic terrorists in the United States since, September 12th, 2001. And they won't count the Twin Towers and that
There's
sort of thing.
words that are trigger words like active shooter or
Yeah, or
school shooting.
or assault rifle.
Assault rifle. We talked about this last
Oh
week.
man.
Yeah, it's So
It's definitely a trigger word for me.
Yeah. Well, and they will say that, and like they'll say, the people shouldn't have assault rifles, and it's like, well,
People
don't have assault rifles. But when you say it like that, it implies that people do have assault rifles and that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
But people don't.
Assault,
Citizens don't.
Does anyone know the fact when assault rifle, it was a company, Remington, or a company started making it in 1947?
I don't.
Many years ago, the AR-15.
AR does not stand for assault rifle.
No, it doesn't.
It stands for Armalite, the brand.
So it was developed and produced or whatever 1947. I can't do math that fast, but that's like 50 plus years ago.
It's been a while.
It's been around for a long time.
Yeah. I don't know that it was that long ago, because I don't know. It
I
might have
think
been. Was it 47?
His Vietnam War is when they first went to actual soldiers.
Yeah.
The actual fully automatic version of the M16, which is what the AR-15 is based off of.
I just got a new game on my Xbox.
Do tell.
Yeah.
A new to me game. Tangent. We're going off on a tangent. Left 4 Dead.
Oh yeah.
It's super old.
That's been a while.
Yeah,
It's been a
I have
long
Left 4
time.
Dead and Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
It's really
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it a lot. And it,
Good.
The zombie apocalypse thing. So like, the people,
Speaking of
Ebola,
fake
like all these things that are like the flu virus. There's many things that happen every year,
Mhm.
and that could be. That's definitely fake news. I think people saying like you need to get your flu shot because whatever, you don't need to get it. You do need to get it. I'm not going to offer an opinion on that. But every year there's like a new thing that comes out, like the bird flu or the swine flu. There's always this one flu thing that comes out every year, and that's who tells us that. The news tells us that, and
Well, also a lot of people getting sick tells us that.
I don't see anyone getting sick. I mean, I'm being ridiculous right now, but what I'm saying is I don't see in this rural kind of town that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of any cases of Ebola, or like there's West Nile in our area.
Yeah.
That's a thing, but
Well, but things like Ebola, I mean, I kind of get what you're saying. Things like Ebola, that was blown way out of proportion. There was like 2 or 3 people in the entire United States that had it.
Yeah,
and
it was
that whole
mostly.
big thing.
yeah, I'm gonna show my ignorance. But I think it started in Africa.
I think so. I think you're right. You should look that up because we're not sure. But I think you're right. I think it started in Africa. But there was only like 3 people in the entire United States that had it.
Yeah,
And I think only like 1 of them died. But I don't know. You have to look that one
so
up.
this game, I think the whole point behind this game is the zombie apocalypse has started, and you're escaping, and so you're working your way through different areas to escape. And I love watching zombie apocalypse shows. I love them. I like sci-fi movies and stuff, but it's like I get to almost live it, like play the game. So, anyways, the game is fun for me. I like the game because I think a zombie apocalypse could happen.
All right, all right.
That's pretty funny. So recently, speaking of fake news, there was a town somewhere. It might have been Florida or something like that. Florida's where a lot of these silly things happen. But I guess there was a bunch of rain or something, and they said like watch out for the rain on the road and the zombies too. And
As a joke,
that was a joke. I mean,
Okay.
the person that was in charge of like this town's
probably
like,
got fired
well, I don't know,
or
Let's hope
promoted.
not. It was pretty funny, but they had to put out like an apology and saying, "Don't worry about the zombies." There's no zombies.
Okay, so that's a
But
perfect
if
example.
you like go out on Facebook and you're a respected like news outlet or like the city of X, and you put out a tweet that says "zombie apocalypse,"
And it goes viral.
and it goes viral.
People are stupid enough to believe it.
But you think the zombie apocalypse might actually happen.
Yes.
So would you see
I think
that
it'd be
tweet
government.
and you'd be like, ah, crap, I gotta run?
I think it would be government engineered, and I think that the reason they're making all these TV shows right now about the zombie apocalypse trend has kind of faded. I think there's not very many. There's Walking Dead is still going; it's on its 7th or 8th season, but I think that it's desensitizing us for when it actually happens and making us be more prepared for when it actually happens.
I
Okay.
see.
Because I wouldn't put anything past the powers that be,
Okay.
honestly.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
think anything's possible.
I'm generally distrustful of the government and that sort of thing. I think it's healthy to have a certain level of distrust for the government and a certain level of trust. But I get what you're saying.
It's got really worked up there over
Well,
that.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. What about things like that aren't necessarily from main news outlets? I think that a lot of people don't fact check. They will just take something by their word, like all the stuff going around on Facebook last year or year before about how to winterize your car, and they're like, yeah, screw some screws into your tires and you get instant traction tires. Hey, don't forget to check your blinker fluid. Oh, don't forget your muffler bearing. Just all this stuff that
It's like the gullibility
yeah.
of
Well, and people
Sandpaper
don't.
your windshield. And
Yeah, some people don't
heard
fact check
about that.
and there were actually people who like screwed screws in their tires and poured hot water on their windshield when it was frozen.
if your tires are deflated and they have screws sticking out of them, you probably would get really good traction in the snow.
unless the
You can't go very fast, but
Well, yeah, I was gonna say unless the bead breaks off the rims and then your
that's
tires
fair.
would fall off.
That's fair.
Yeah.
let's not drive around with flat tires, people. It's not a good idea.
No Darwinism. Do what you want.
Well, yeah. So I mean, do you think that it's almost a form of social Darwinism and we should just let it go then? So all the stupid people are going to believe the stupid crap and end up killing themselves?
A lot of this has to do with Trump, I think. This fake news thing. It was coined by him, but
Yeah.
Wrong.
wrong. Hashtag wrong. It's going to be great.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
It's
But
pronounced China.
But I will say, like, we should probably wait for his presidency to be over and see, because a lot of times with presidencies, like the things that happen during the presidencies don't actually have a great effect until many years later. And so the things that Trump's trying to do is like strengthen the economy and stuff like that. And there's a lot of positive results, depending on your news source. There's a lot of very positive results in the unemployment rate with Trump. So we just gotta sit it out and chill and let him kind of be a buffoon.
Well, and that's the same thing. It's
So
Everything.
here's the other thing. So when does fake news come to the point where they're not reporting good news, they're only reporting bad news?
Well, I think
Because when's the last time you heard anything good about the unemployment rate? You just don't hear about the unemployment rate anymore from the general news media.
well, it's because bad news creates sensationalism, which creates ratings, which makes the news outlets money.
Money.
So that's why most news
Money.
is bad. At least that's why I think most news is bad. And with the Trump thing, like Trump will propose some sort of tax plan, and one news outlet will praise him and be like, "Wow, this is gonna be great for small businesses and all this stuff," and then another news outlet will be like, "Oh, this is gonna be ridiculous.
Okay.
we don't do this." You know, it's taking the same facts but putting a different spin on it.
Something to think about with the money aspect of it is a lot of these companies that are being blamed for the fake news got started with cable news or newspapers. Both of those things are like newspaper subscriptions and cable news. Cord cutting's really happening. I'm not really making my words good right now, but those companies are losing a lot of money now because people aren't reading the newspapers or watching TV, and so they're having to try and make up money and get that sensationalism with their one little avenue they have, which is online stuff, right? And like they post something viral and then they make money. So I think they're struggling, and maybe that's motivating them to be
Sensationalize even more.
essentially, yeah, and lose kind of their ethics a little bit, you know, to make money. Maybe they're getting crunched and stressed.
Well, and that I heard an interesting opinion on this the other day about cable news outlets and mass shootings and why they keep reporting on them and why mass shootings seem to keep happening is because the cable news outlets, their viewership,
Sensationalize the victim.
Yeah.
Or
Viewership.
Not
No,
the
the-
victim,
the shooter.
Yeah.
and they put them up and they put their face everywhere. They talk about their name, they talk about their life, and they basically make them famous. And so then all these people who are kind of on the edge of, man, I want to go shoot up a school, but I don't know, there's not really any point. And then they see this, oh man, I would be famous if I shot up a
Yeah,
school. And then
unfortunately.
yeah, it's terrible. But it's almost and I'm not saying that,
It's creating the perfect environment for these things to happen.
right, I'm not saying that cable news is causing mass shootings. I'm saying that they're kind of sensationalizing it.
They're making money off of it right now.
They're making money off of people's tragedies.
Yeah, okay, so think about it. Think about times when you go somewhere and you're like, yo, bro, turn on the news. Like, you go into someone's house or you go into a business and you're like, hey, turn on the news. Something bad's happening. All right, so, like, maybe they're watching Days of Our Life or infomercials, but you're like, hey, turn on the news. That cable company is falsely reporting something tragic, blowing out of proportion so that you turn their channel on and they get watched.
Well,
Like,
but the other thing is, it might not be false. They
Okay,
might be,
yeah.
but they are giving, like, honestly, if I ran a news outlet, I would, and there was a mass shooting, I wouldn't tell you what the shooter's name was, and I wouldn't put his face on the TV. I would just tell you there was a mass shooting. This is what we know. This is how many people are dead. This is how many people are in the hospital. And I would just say it was a bad guy that wanted to kill a bunch of people. I wouldn't tell you who he was or she, who they were.
who do you think's responsible? I think
For the mass shootings?
CIA.
You think that like all mass shootings are manufactured by the CIA?
The government, and it's got to be separate from like the law branches, like judicial branch or the what's the presidential branch. So I think it's got to be like the FBI or the CIA.
Okay, and
Because
what's-
we talked about all of the government conspiracies last week, and these at the time back then probably seemed ludicrous. No way our government would do that, and they did it. So why aren't we putting this past them right now? Like, who's to say they're not responsible for this?
well,
Like Las Vegas specifically. I don't know about this last shooting. The last shooting,
okay, so the latest shooting that happened
the latest one,
like
yeah.
last week.
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, you're. I can almost bet money that you're hardly going to hear anything about it because it was done with a shotgun and a revolver. It was not done with an AR-15 or anything like that. It's done with a shotgun and a revolver.
Damn. Well, that's
And 10 people are dead. That's a big one, dude. 10 people.
10 people is a lot.
10 people with a shotgun and a revolver, and so it totally blows the narrative of AR-15s are evil out of the water. But
And,
I don't want
that one has already kind of disappeared. It was like big for like a blip, and now
for like
it's
a day or
gone.
two.
And it happened in Texas.
That was not
so
manufactured. But if
But
you
we're,
think
but
about,
we're still hearing about Parkland.
okay, Florida.
Simply
but if
because it happened with an AR-15, the evil black gun.
yeah, so not to get nefarious or evil or anything, but if you were gonna do something like that, a shotgun would be the best, and also a revolver. Revolvers in any form of gun, a revolver is the most trusted because you don't have a magazine or a clip or anything that can get jammed. You know, you only have 6 bullets or whatever, but you have nothing to get jammed. So if you're gonna do something like that, revolvers are more trusted than other guns.
Yeah, I guess you could say that revolvers are more reliable than
Reliable.
an auto-loading handgun, but there are certain disadvantages to a revolver in that. But it also seems like people don't know what a New York reload is, which is where you have a bag full of loaded guns, usually revolvers, and you just, once one is empty, you drop it and you pull a new gun out of the bag. It's called a New York reload. Have you never heard of that?
No, I have never heard of that. My
There-
face just lit up.
There have been
Wow.
there have been
That's some gangster shit, like some old school gangster shit.
Well,
Well, you have to realize,
Like Prohibition times,
Back
that's what
in,
it sounds
back
like.
in the gangster days, like the old time, like the actual like mafia guys. That what they did. That was just before auto-loading pistols were available, and before the
Or common.
before
Yeah,
the
see, you're putting-
before the Thompson machine gun were available. I mean,
We're smart people.
there was a
like,
time-
we can figure it out.
you could buy a Thompson machine gun out of a Sears catalog
What's a Tommy
and have
gun?
it shipped to your door with 0 background checks or anything.
I
And it
really
was-
want a Sears catalog right now, by the way. Like, do they even send those out anymore?
don't know.
you can probably order one, but it probably just has lawnmowers and washing machines.
They don't sell
And Craftsman
Tommy
tools.
guns.
Yeah.
Fully automatic Tommy guns to the American public.
Craftsman tools, though. Sears is a
Yeah. Craftsman just got bought out by Stanley,
No.
Black and Decker, something like that.
weird.
Mhm.
I like Craftsman because don't they have a lifetime warranty?
Yeah.
But does that actually exist if the company goes under?
Nope.
Yikes.
Ooh,
It's the lifetime
Ooh.
of the company. That's what
Yeah.
lifetime
Damn.
warranty means.
Right.
that's deep, Lance.
Mm-hmm. That's the vegan here strikes again.
But yeah, so you think that so I guess would the shootings then, if you think they're manufactured by the government, would they themselves be falsified news?
Oh,
Because
I
they
don't
are
know.
actual events.
No.
They are actual events. They are, proven to be actual events. And if you try to take anything away from that, then you're taking something away from the victims of the event, and that's not good. You can't really do that.
So there's shows that you can watch that, like House of Cards and
I don't think I've seen that one.
The West Wing.
I haven't
And
seen that either.
a big part of those shows, they talk about news cycles.
The West Wing is the one with the Allstate guy, right? As the president?
The West Wing?
Oh, that's 24.
No. Oh, is it?
No.
24. Where the
West
guy's
Wing?
like, "You're in good hands." The
no,
big black
the
guy
West
with
Wing
the
was
deep
made
voice.
in like 2001. It's really,
Yeah.
it doesn't. The West Wing?
Yeah.
I think he might
oh,
be
no,
in
no,
the
no.
sh-
That's Sheen is the president, right?
the
Martin
dad.
Sheen?
Mm-hmm.
Martin
Martin Sheen.
Sheen.
Yep.
Yeah, so the Allstate guy is the president in 24.
Right.
Yeah.
So listen.
Uh-huh.
So they talk about news cycles and how some of the premises of their shows were like something controversial's come out with the president. So what can we talk about that will overshadow this news of the president? Like, oh, just relax. The news cycle's almost over. There's going to be a new one. Monday is tomorrow or whatever. So there's this thing with the news that like we're going to let this play out, or let's give them something more interesting to distract them from like
The actual news.
yeah, because they say like when 9/11 happened, a bunch of money was lost by the Pentagon, and these people find all of these things out, but whether they're true or not. But like when
I'm pretty sure the plane, or can we go back to like the 9/11 conspiracy?
yeah, didn't it crash
So
into
the plane crashed into an unoccupied wing of the Pentagon that had all the records for all the black
It's
projects.
is all the paper trails.
All the paper trails just got burned up in the fire. Oh darn! And nobody died.
No one
Yep.
died in the Pentagon.
Nope.
The,
No one.
the people died on the airplane, but nobody died in the
There
Pentagon.
was, yeah, if there was an airplane.
Yeah.
You know what's really cool is that
I'm
gonna.
pretty sure there was an airplane. There's eyewitnesses for that.
Has
I believe
JFK
it.
been debunked yet?
I'm pretty sure JFK was shot in the head while in his motorcade,
Pretty sure that's on
and
video.
he died.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, well, Oh,
But what we don't know is if the dude that shot him was like perpetrated by the CIA or whatever.
what is it? What is the standard with classified documents? Isn't it 75 years?
It's a decent chunk of time.
So, because
I don't know.
But I don't think it's 75 years because
I
I'm
wish-
pretty sure most of World War II has been declassified at this point.
yeah, because after 75 years, the government has to release everything.
But
Yeah.
do they actually have to?
Yeah, they do, and things.
But what
but
if
they
what
don't.
if things don't exist?
Yeah, like. I'm not arguing with you guys.
There is no accountability
No,
for
no,
that.
no. I'm just saying. No, I understand. I think there probably is a standard that is like 75 years. Where
No, it's a thing, and I'm just.
it
I
is a
wish
thing.
someone could comment right now and tell me what this thing is, or I could
It's a
Google
thing
it,
where
but-
like black projects get released to the light or whatever. But if the black project never exists and there is no paperwork on it, and all the members of the project are dead, it's never going to get released to the light, and nobody will ever know anything about it. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
or if people die,
Or if
Like-
the people are still alive and just won't talk about it.
like that thing that's kind of been going around when someone famous dies, someone uses their Twitter picture and handle and puts, "I have information on Hillary Clinton to lead to her arrest." Have you guys seen that?
no.
No.
This is really unfortunate and sad because people are dying, but they take a famous dead person's Twitter and take their picture and their handle and say, and like make it seem like they wrote this, like official Twitter. They say, "I have information leading to the arrest of Hillary Clinton," because the joke is like Hillary Clinton kills the people that.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah,
So, okay. So do you think that?
it's fucked up because like too soon, bro. Too soon.
Yeah. Do you think that the government is controlling the media to turn it to like add these fake news stories or to twist the truth to further an agenda or to keep the people occupied while something else is going on? or-
You want to know what I think?
Yes.
I think you know how there's Rotary, where like the business owners of towns get together. Rotary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
I've attended Rotary a couple times.
just a side note. There's Rotary Act or something for 18 to 30-year-olds.
Okay.
Where
So it's like a young person's
a
version
young person's.
Because just for people's knowledge, in general, when you go to a Rotary, it's a bunch of old business owners, and
that are doing things for the community.
yeah,
that put on fundraisers, and
Right.
the Rotary sponsors a lot of projects.
the
a lot of-
population of people between 1830 is extremely low at these events.
But it isn't. There's no age restriction.
Right.
on it.
It's not
You're
closed
right.
off to these
You're
people.
right.
These people just generally aren't interested. in
So-
going.
what is this
my
thing?
Well, no, I'm not going to get sidetracked. We can talk about the young person's Rotary in our after show. But
Okay.
But so what I think happening with you asked what control do people have over the news? So I think that
Well, the government.
the government. So I think that the news people are owned by corporations and CEOs. It's really it's monopolized to a point, but those people
It's
get
like 3 major companies, I think.
yeah, it's weird, but those
Mostly
people
just Disney.
all hang out with each other, and they all are rich, and they all sit around and talk about being more rich and ways. And so we're talking about the people that are billionaires that are extremely rich. So they're trying, like the Seattle head tax thing. Amazon's probably going to leave Seattle because of this head tax thing, and they're going to take all of their money and leave. So this is the kind of shit that they're talking about. They're like, we're about to lose a big amount of money here. What are we going to do? Let's do another school shooting. Okay, then
So you think
Fox News, get a hold of this.
So you think it's not necessarily the government, but like huge people who own multi-billion-dollar businesses?
People with influence.
Okay.
And
People
that's
who
the
own
thing.
the news
And
companies.
the reason I brought up Rotary is because Rotary, for this town at least, these are the influential business owners of the town. And so it's not like city council or anything, but these are like the owners of major businesses that bring a lot of money, a lot of tax money into our community.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I wanted to make a new sidewalk in front of my house for my grandma, I'd be like, yo, Rotary, I have a project. It's like a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout project. Will you
Yeah.
sponsor me? And
Yeah.
they'll be like, okay, we'll vote. Yes, they're probably going to do it because they're good people. But like that's the sort of shit that Rotary does. They're in charge of like if they want to let that McDonald's into town or not. That was a poor example, but
Well, yeah. Well, and like I said, I've been to a couple Rotary meetings because I do own a business here in town. and
entrepreneurship
been-
though.
Yeah, and I've been invited as a guest a couple times.
I make
And-
their food, by the way. I cook the food for them.
Yeah, yeah. They do hold it there at
At the place I
your
work.
Business. Yeah, at the place you work. But it's people come in and they're like, hey, we're trying to build. Like right now, they're working on getting money. At least last time I was there, they're working on getting money.
The engine.
Yeah, I know. Working on getting money for the World War II memorial. That's supposed to go out by Fort Walla Walla.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were, asking for donations for that and talking about how they could, what businesses can help and that sort of thing. I would say generally Rotary is a positive thing. But what about isn't there some top secret meeting for all those like
The Illuminati?
Freemasons?
No. It's like a bunch of it's like billionaire business owners that meet like every year.
They go somewhere.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know
It's
exactly
called
what you're talking
something.
Yeah. And they play music there. It's like super exclusive.
It is super exclusive. I didn't know they played music.
Yeah, there's like U2 played for them once, or like the
But nobody knows what they discuss in there.
what is that called? Bilderberg? Is it Bilderberg?
I don't know.
That's Illuminati. I'm fact checking this. I'm interested.
Okay. Well, we're running pretty close on time.
How much time?
Like we have like 2 minutes. So, you got anything else?
I do.
Okay. Go for it.
So Elon Musk,
Old Muskie.
old Muskie,
All musky.
old Muskie, he has some competition now. China just launched their very first private industry rocket for the very first one, and it was successful. And it went 25 miles altitude. So
It's
they're
up there,
like
boys.
not quite outer space, air quotes, not quite outer space, not as far as a SpaceX rocket. So not the outer parts of the atmosphere. 25 miles is kind of a long ways.
Yeah.
Like good.
Straight up. Yep. Nice
So,
job.
so this is their very first successful rocket, which means they're entering the private space flight industry. And China, we all know China has a bunch of money. So like Elon Musk,
Watch out.
old Muskie,
All musky.
you better watch out.
Yeah. Well, China has their own Elon Musk that's heading this up.
Really?
Yeah, his name is Iran. Okay, thank you
That's
for
it.
watching
Thanks for
the
watching.
Finished Business Podcast. You can help support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/finishedbusinesspodcast. Follow the podcast on Twitter at FinBizPodcast.
I have a quote.
Okay, go for it. That's how we'll end.
We'll end with this quote. The eyes are useless if the mind is blind.
Ooh, wow. Open your mind.
Woke.
That's like a Quato quote.